And we're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you have forgotten, boom,
You are absolutely fucking amazing. Exactly as you are. Once you get that, life unfolds. Oh my gosh. Sherry, doesn't it?
It does.
Once you realize that you're absolutely fucking amazing, doesn't life change completely?
It does. Because when you come to accept and love all of who you are, even the things that you may not think are lovable,
Yeah.
guess what? It helps you to embrace and love everyone around you for their humanity.
Right. Okay, so I talk about it in the book. A big part of the book is about me and relationships, right? Me and relationships and how, I operated from a baseline of I'm unlovable, the world is judgmental, and you can't be trusted. Because that's what happens before we're even 5 years old. We make a judgment on those three things. And it's all based on our experiences up to that time. So stuff happens. And we make an interpretation as just a brand new human being. And that's what we live from. So
we live from a story, right? We live from stories.
And so relationships, how were relationships for me when I felt that I was unlovable? I would always look for evidence. And as soon, you had that pink cloud moment of the relationships going really, really well. And then you have a little altercation. Like, you do, you're in relationships. So you kind of get on each other's nerves after a while, right? So as soon as that other person would say something to me negative, that was evidence that I was unlovable and they couldn't be trusted. How is the relationship going to go from there?
There you go. You're going to question it, the stories, no matter what someone says or does.
Yeah. Until I did the work, and it's work, till I did the work to change that base, statement, life would always be the same for me. And that goes for business relationships too. Every relationship with anybody else was based on those three things.
So and how lucky are we? How lucky are we, Mark?
We get to sweep that aside. We get to do the work and put that aside and then choose from we're absolutely amazing exactly as we are. And it's, some people find it really hard to say those words because they feel like, oh, that's kind of conceited,
Well, here it is. You ready? It's only conceited if you make it conceited. It's only weird if you make it weird. It's only, you know what I mean? It's
you get to choose.
We get to choose how we want to see things. So here we go. You ready, everyone? I want you to all look at us in the eyeball right now and say, I am absolutely fucking amazing just the way I am. Just say it once. And then the other thing that's kind of too
first thing every day.
Right. And then even if you don't believe it, just go look in the mirror and keep saying it over and over and over again. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to start laughing because it's
You're going to reprogram your mind.
Yeah.
Because we're all habitual programs. We're all just little pathways being lit up. So do you want to light that pathway, that well-worn pathway back to when you were 5 years old that probably has a negative I'm not enough tone to it? Or do you want to program a new pathway that says I'm absolutely fucking amazing and I can really choose to do whatever I want to do in my life?
Yes. And I'll just give another example too of what helps with that. I was just talking to Joe. Joe, good morning if you're out there. We were talking about music. And how music can actually set the tone, because music is what? I look at music as poetry.
Oh my God.
It's poetry,
music,
vibration.
The power of music is incredible. And we'll talk about someday, we're going to talk about that on the show.
We will. All right, we'll get started. But anyway, starting your day off with music that makes you feel good is actually a really, really good tip and trick. That's probably going to be my tip and trick of the day.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
do you have a favorite song that you like start your day off with? I do. I have one that I've just, it's like my go-to whenever I want to get fired up. And
really? Can I tell you what mine is?
My age, because it's an REO Speedwagon song, which probably nobody really knows who that band is anymore, but it's an REO Speedwagon song called Roll with the Changes. And that song, from the moment I first heard it, has been like my anthem. Fuck yeah, roll with the changes, Mark.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I have a couple of them,
yeah.
but today's song for me was Sweet Sense-A-Melia. So, right, the Sweet Sensey song. And I was listening to it, and it just gets you into the move and the groove. And then it reminds me of why I am here today. This plant saved my life.
Yeah.
And it gives me the boost and the energy to just keep going and to show up and this just, every morning to bring you guys good news, right? So the daily dose of AFA.
That's right. Oh, Carrie Lee knows who REO Speedwagon is. Oh my God. Hey, guess what? Carrie Lee, Time for Me to Fly was my first breakup song. You know, when you break up and you have that song, it's like, that's it. I can't stand it anymore. My first girlfriend. I love her too. She's amazing. We're friends. Imagine that. I'm friends with my first girlfriend when I was 15 years old.
That's awesome.
She's an amazing human being, but that was it. That was the Time for Me to Fly. It was like, it's just not working out. Yeah. Anyway, music. Let's talk about daily love.
Daily love.
Okay. So this is the third day of the 7-day mental diet. Like, it's this thing that Emmett Fox put out there in 1935. Still relevant today. So today's lesson was about understanding that here it is, that you cannot change your mind, like from negative to positive, and have your environment remain the same.
Ooh.
And vice versa. You can't change your environment and have your mind change. Your environment is absolutely subject to what you think. So if you change the way you think, everything in your environment will change. Your finances, your relationships, your love life, all of it will change. So it's just nailing down the importance. Nailing down the importance. It says, this means that you cannot change your environment while leaving your mind unchanged, nor, and this is the supreme key to life and the reason for this pamphlet, can you change your mind without your environment changing too. It's just tied together, lockstep.
Yes. Here it is too. Here's another thing as nurses, right? So just think about, we create the healing environment wherever we go, not by what we're doing, but by how we're being.
Right.
Right. And how we're
that's
being,
a great one. So
right? Think about it.
My God, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yep.
So when we're going through life, we like to say, oh, I am sad. I am angry. I am excited. Like we take on, that's who we are in the moment.
Right.
And you're right. It's not. Who we are is immutable, unchangeable, spirit, love at the base. What we are in a moment is just a way of being. And when you look at it that way, what's possible? Changing your way of being. You will always remain the same.
Yep.
Sherry.
I know, huh? Yeah. Right on. 2 thumbs up.
Yep. So my word of the day is change. I'm okay with change.
Change, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with that as well. Change. I really like that, because that's the one thing that we can constantly rely on in our lives. Change. Everything is changing. We're never going to have this minute right here again, right? In 5 minutes.
It's the only March 2nd, Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 we ever get.
Yes.
It's it. There is no other opportunity. And I think that's what we drive to, and why we remind you every day that you're AFA is because you only have this day. So what we do today creates what's going to happen tomorrow. So getting back to changing our mind, the way we think, the awareness of what we're actually intending to do is going to create a life from that.
Absolutely. And this is really true too. A lot of the 12-step programs say, take it a day at a time. So, that's it, one day. And then if you're having a hard time being in the day, then break it down to an hour. If I can just get through this hour and just, the miracle is the change of perception, the aha moment when it just makes sense.
Yeah.
We got this. We can do this. And cannabis helps.
It does. Absolutely, it does. Just think about it. A lot of our reaction is fight or flight, right? It's that amygdala response. It's that whole enacting of that circuit. It's how we go through life. It's like, and cannabis has been shown to dampen down that response. Now, that's a good thing, right? We're not as reactive in a situation. So we're able to have our prefrontal cortex stay in the game as long as possible. And that's the one that really analyzes and understands and has empathy. That reactivity part of your mind is just like, I'm going to either run or I'm going to kill you.
Exactly. Fight, flight, freeze, collapse, right?
I might just stay here and do nothing. But that is an automated response. So old. It's such an old part of the brain. Yeah. So cannabis can dampen that down. So.
All right. So
I just had
we're here.
Come on.
Have a little CBD. Here you go.
Right, Terpene Tuesday, baby.
Terpene Tuesday. So today, thank you, Nurse Mark. This is absolutely delicious. So today is Terpene Tuesday. And what we do is we provide hugs and nugs, tidbits of information to literally educate you on the endocannabinoid system. So we've been talking about terpenes every Tuesday because terpenes are part of the plant and they contribute to the entourage effect. So what is a terpene?
Oh, here we go. They're organic compounds that produce specific smells and tastes. They're found in almost all plants. So cannabis, essential oils, plants, trees, foods. And in cannabis, the terpenes help ward off attacks from animals and insects and fungus as the plant grows. So when a cannabis plant goes through the curation process, the terpenes become oxidized, resulting in what we know as terpenoids.
Yes.
So they contribute to the entourage effect, Sherry, and they have their own healing properties. And so the entourage effect, a very well-known and accepted phenomenon, not understood, by the way. We know that it is, we just don't know how it works. And so we continue to do a lot of research, but we know that all of these terpenes and cannabinoids together produce a much more potent medicinal effect. So if you use an isolated CBD or an isolated THC, which THC has been isolated by pharmaceutical companies for, 30, 40 years now, right? And been studied and found to be less effective than whole plant.
Exactly. Whole plant for the win. The whole plant is greater than its individual parts.
Yes, it is.
Today's terpene is called camphene.
Woo!
Camphene, CAMPHENE. And our Terpene Tuesday segment is also going to be circulated through In the Weeds Prohibition Talk Radio. So really excited to be able to provide information.
Big Joe.
Big Joe. We love you, Joe. So camphene is a bicyclic monoterpene.
There you go, talking dirty to me again. Sure.
I know.
Love it.
Those big words. So it's a colorless crystal that can be used as a substitute for camphor. Interesting. So people will be like, oh, what's camphor? So
camphor oil is extracted from the wood of the camphor trees. It's processed by steam distillation and can be used topically to relieve pain, irritation, and itching.
And it's been used as a fragrance or to texturize certain substances such as resins and lacquers. It's also been used as a food additive to enhance flavors. And it can also be found in essential oils such as cypress and valerian in very small amounts. So historically, camphor and camphene have been used as fuel for lamps in the 19th century. And that's the reason why is because it was cheaper than whale oil. However, it's extremely flammable. So this terpene is no longer used in this way. And instead, they've replaced kerosene as fuel for the choice of lamps.
Yeah.
So, Mark, what does it smell like? What is
it's a damp, pungent herbal aroma with undertones of pine. So it exudes an earthy, musky aroma, and it does have flavor enhancing properties.
Yeah. And it's found in other natural sources such as rosemary, fir, lavender, sage, nutmeg, tulsi, camphor, ginger, valerian, cypress, citronella, hemp, and cannabis, our favorite plant.
Here's where it's found in everyday life. Citronella candles. We have camphor, mosquito repellent, It's controversial, used as a minor ingredient in bark collars. It's said to calm the dogs and discourage barking. However, vets warn against the use of citronella oil with any pet, as it could be toxic to them. And it's used in skincare products such as ointments and creams.
Yeah. So the medicinal properties are vast, and we're going to talk about those as well as the therapeutic benefits. So medicinal properties include it's an antioxidant, an antibacterial, an antiviral, an antifungal, an anti-inflammatory, and an expectorant, which means it helps you to cough stuff up.
Yeah. Sherry, when we talk about these terpenes and cannabinoids, they always start off with just about the same properties, right? Medicinal properties: antioxidant, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And they are all working together.
And they all work together. So we're going to break it down just a little bit more, because what we've noticed, and one of the things that we talk about all the time, is that these different terpenes are often mixed with other components, such as the cannabis plant. So terpenes make up a component of the plant. The plant has over 400 components, over 120 cannabinoids, terpenes, essential oils, essential fatty acids, bioflavonoids, and cannaflavins. So just imagine we have this one terpene that can do something so amazing, but then it's also been used in other things. So for example, so it acts as an antioxidant. So when combined, so when camphene is combined with citrus oils, it has been shown to reduce the oxidative stress that can lead to tissue damage.
Yes.
Right. So the holistic Indian system of Ayurveda has been known about these effects for millennium. So Ayurvedic practitioners tap into camphene containing juniper berry oil as one of its many natural remedies. Right.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, here's the thing. We've used these compounds and these chemicals for thousands of years. Health practitioners have used them. And we sort of like look down on that old tradition and say, oh, well, we know more than they did. Well, guess what? We really don't. There was no difference between their thought processes and their capacities and abilities than ours today. And so over thousands of years, they were able to figure out what works in the human body. We got to honor that.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing too, is just think about this, Mark. What do we say? Traditional medicine? Well, traditional medicine is a long time ago. It's not, right? So like, I'm thinking about like some of the conversations we have, like traditional medicine traditional medicine is the ancient medicine. If you really think about it and go way back, that's really traditional medicine.
And if most of our drugs are derived from plant-based, like from the plant kingdom, trees and plants, which they are, you have to honor the fact that these practitioners knew what the heck they were doing. So we're just trying to reconnect to that, right?
Yes. So here's
wisdom.
a real big wisdom. So I love this because I'm all about fighting free radicals, which is metabolic terrorists.
Yeah.
So camphene combined with vitamin C. Okay, we know vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant, but when they're combined together, right, it can reduce oxidative stress and it can decrease inflammation. And we all know that chronic inflammation contributes to chronic disease, right? We don't die. Yes, we don't die of old age. What we die of is age-related diseases caused by chronic inflammation.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And it's an antibacterial, right? The combination of camphene, eugenol, and cineol, and tulsi oil is effective in the treatment of fungal, viral, and bacterial infections that affect the respiratory system. Right? Aromatherapy can clear congestion, used to great effect in the treatment of respiratory disorders like bronchitis. May act as a cough suppressant and a decongestant.
There we go. That's great. Camphene. Antifungal. So here we go. Here's another nice little hug and a nug. So the combination of camphene and camphor that is in sage oil has antifungal properties that work well in the treatment of, are you ready? Athlete's foot, dysentery, which is diarrhea, fungal skin infections, and dermatitis. So these properties make it ideal for a lot of skincare products and cosmetics in the industry.
Yep. What about inflammation? Camphene combined with other terpenes plays a role in decreasing inflammation and may work as an analgesic to decrease pain. Listen, we can't harp on this one enough. Like bringing the inflammation in your body down, the chronic inflammation. I mean, that's been indicated in the aging process as well. And so if you want to slow down the aging process, you got to get rid of inflammation. And a lot of it's diet related, honestly, right? The foods we eat contribute to this inflammatory process. And, you know, CBD and other cannabinoids and terpenes can decrease, as we're talking about right now, can decrease that inflammation in your body and slow the aging process, allow your body to just continue to be in this vibrancy.
I love that word, vibrant.
I do too.
So here's a cool one too that I didn't know about. This was new information for me. We're always learning something new when it comes to cannabis, but I didn't know that this terpene could contribute to cardiovascular health. So some of the research suggests that it also may assist as a lipid lowering agent and may help lower bad cholesterol, which is LDL. So really interesting how that can work in the body. Cardiovascular health.
What strains do we have that are high in caffeine, Sherry?
All right. So mostly indica dominant, but what I have found in my research was that AC/DC, Ghost OG, strawberry banana.
Getting hungry.
And I know, banana kush.
Oh, yeah.
OG kush.
OG, baby.
And then I can't say the last one, but it's Mendo Perps.
Yeah, Mendocino Perps.
Mendocino Perps, right? So as Mark and I talk about all the time, that is truly about whole plant medicine. It's not going out and buying this one specific terpene, but looking at the different terpenes and some of the other foods that they're found in. You can combine this and add this into your diet, you know, which is truly going to help to prevent more therapeutic potential to any health and wellness activity that you engage in, but specifically cannabis. So what about studies, Mark?
You know, so we do the research. We had, you know, we look in these, we have access to these databases that compile all of these research studies, which if you're in this field of cannabinoid medicine, cannabinoid therapy, you need to be subscribed to a service that's going to continually update what studies are out there. Because my gosh, as we talked about this week or last week, the amount of studies has skyrocketed. So you need to have a way of getting them all in one place. So, you know, when we looked at it, there were 10 total with caffeine and cannabis. And so there were studies by organ system, respiratory, nervous, integumentary, which is your skin, which is your largest organ, by the way, and so hugely important. I mean, you know, when you go to the doctors and you're trying to figure out what's wrong with you, first place they look is the skin. What's going on? You have things popping up. Because that's the indicator, right?
Well, here you go.
They have a rash in their face or whatever. The first thing, okay, well, there's a clue. Let's figure out what it is. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a good one though. It's true.
So what were the top conditions studied, Cher?
Okay, so the top conditions that were studied with caffeine and cannabis include generalized pain, heart disease, cancer, melanoma, fungal infections, tuberculosis, oxidative stress, and bacterial infections. So that's pretty cool. With 10 studies, they got all that in. So just imagine the more studies that evolved, how much more information is going to be available.
So yeah, you know what? And imagine when our federal government gets off its ass and actually legalizes cannabis, right? Imagine what they're going to be able to do after that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Come on. Let's go.
Let's hurry up. Take your time and hurry up already.
Yeah, take your time and hurry up. Okay.
Yes.
This is good. So amazing. So much therapeutic potential with terpenoids and cannabinoids together.
And we do have so much more to learn. And so this has been a wonderful Terpene Tuesday where we bring you hugs and nugs. And now it's time for us to plug the rest of the week because we're all about that. We want you guys to have the most awesome information so you can continue to live an AFA life. So we have a lot of other media things that are coming up this week. Look at In the Weeds Prohibition Talk Radio. They're going to be circulating Terpene Tuesday. Tomorrow, we have our daily AFA at 8 a.m. And then tomorrow afternoon, 4:20 to 6:20 p.m., we are going to be having a veteran on who's also a nurse. So he's got a great story.
Love it.
Which is coming. And then tomorrow night, we're going to be profiling another health professional at 8 p.m. Dr. Karen Korn, who actually works with cannabis nurse Colleen. So we're going to be talking a lot about what they're doing out in Michigan and Ohio, which will be really exciting.
Awesome.
And then one other plug is our Friday, Frequency Friday. You guys all know we're about energy, love, light, information. And so we're going to be talking about energy healing, Reiki, reconnective healing, and this really cool new device that we've all been using called Healy. So you have to join in with Green Nurse Denise, Green Nurse Michelle, and Green Nurse Carrie Lee. We're going to be doing a cool little sesh at 9 a.m. in the Green Nurse community.
Awesome. Awesome.
Can't forget this.
Come on, absolutely. The tips and tricks are in there, folks.
You go to Amazon. Go to Amazon.
You guys have to step out into a new life anytime you choose.
Yeah. And then just subscribe. I can't, my screen has disappeared again, Mark. There's something with
I saw the blip, Sherry. I totally knew you. Yeah, you can't see anybody or anything. Yeah, you know what? We can see you and you look great.
I can see a green dot. So what I wanted to put up was how people can subscribe to your daily dose.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I can toss that up there.
Toss that up there right now.
Yeah, the daily love. Text AFA love to 484848. This week, we're doing the 7-day mental diet. And you know what? We're going to pop back on that throughout the year because it's the key to creating a new life. And as I talked about the other day, I mean, this thing has changed many, many people's lives since 1935, including Tony Robbins. So it is part of what he based his whole program and his whole life on. Yeah. So powerful stuff.
Powerful stuff. So if you, I know, join us. So if you or someone you love is suffering from chronic illness, chronic disease, chronic pain, or if you know someone that's interested in cannabis wellness, or if you want to understand how cannabis works for you so you can create a safe adult use experience, contact us at www.thegreennurse.com.
Yeah. And if you're in the healthcare community, and I'm saying anywhere, if you're helping somebody else be healthy, join us and we will help educate you on bringing cannabis medicine into whatever you're doing and really help those that you're trying to help with. Whatever modality you use primarily, cannabis can accentuate and help whatever it is you're doing. So join us at the Green Nurse. We'd love to have you.
We would. And we have so many exciting things. I'm like bursting at the seams to share, but we're just going to give you hugs and nugs every day. And just know that we're excited that we're here to bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. That's
right. An AFA day today, full of change. Loving it. Yeah, baby. All right. So Sherry, I'm going to have an AFA day. You going to have an AFA day?
I am going to have an AFA day today too. And remember, everyone, it's about living your best life and helping others do the same.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We love you and we love that you're here. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day.